going to just work our wrists first. We're just coming to all fours and you're just palming the ground. Starting to walk the fingers out to the side. Bring the a little bit closer and we're just going to do little circles. Maybe mute yourself there. And then come back in, start to walk the fingers a little bit more towards the knees. And then just gently leaning back. And then forwards and back. For the moment, just keeping the heels of the hands as close to the floor as possible. And then you can let the heels of the hands come up as you sit further back. Some of you will be very tight here and some of you won't be at all. So just be careful. And then coming back in. Walking the fingers out to the side and then to the front again. We're going to turn one hand, so the back of the hand is on the floor. And then you can apply as little or as much pressure as you like here. We're just conditioning the wrists. And then switch. And bring it back in. And now with the fingers nice and spread, we're going to start to try and come up very slowly onto our fingertips, one section at a time. So the palm rises, then part of the finger rises, and then we come all the way up onto the fingertips. And then we reverse that as slowly as we possibly can. And keep going like that. And shake out the wrist for a moment. Okay, now we're going to imagine that we're gripping a ball with our hands, like we're trying to make a fist with the hand, yeah? So we start with our right hand and trying to imagine that you're really trying to make a fist with the hand, but the floor is stopping you from doing that. And then you're going to take your other hand and try to lift the fingers, and you have to resist, yeah? Really grip down, like you're having a tug of war with yourself. Go back again. And switch hands. So remember, you're trying to make a fist with your hands, trying to make it into a ball, and then your other hand comes along, tries to lift your fingers, and you need to resist. And shake them out. Interlacing the fingers, we just roll them out. Making waves. Okay, now is the part if you have elastics that you can use elastics, and you're just going to twist if you can. If they're stretchy enough, you're going to twist them around each finger. I don't know, I'm quite going to make it with this one. If they don't get around each finger, that's okay, yeah? And then we're going to try and separate the fingers. So you're keeping them quite low down near the fingernails. And if they're very stretchy, you'll separate the fingers more, but if they're not very stretchy, they'll be quite close together. And you try to separate them out from each other. And you should start to feel that now, firing up. If you don't have an elastic, you can still do the same thing, imagining that you have an elastic in between the fingers, yeah? Even if you don't. So we're really trying to separate them out from each other and from the thumb, from the center. And faster now. And release. And we'll do the other side. Faster. And release. Okay, coming to the top of the mat. Just warming up with a few sun salutations. Inhale, raising the arms up. And exhaling, fold. Inhale, head up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower down. Inhaling, arch. And exhale, lift the hips up and back. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Walk, step or jump forwards. Inhaling, head up. Exhale, head to the legs. And inhale, push into the feet, bring the arms up, palms together, maybe look up. And exhale. Inhaling again, reaching up. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, head up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Inhaling, arch. And exhale, hips up and back. Jump or step forwards, inhaling, head up. Exhale, head to the legs. Inhale, come up, reach up. And exhale. Inhaling, reaching up again. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, head up. Exhale, jump and step back and lower down. Inhaling, arch. And exhale, hips up and back. And jump or step forwards. Inhale, head up only. Exhale, head to the legs. Inhale, push into the feet, bring yourself up. And exhale. One more, inhale, reach up. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, head up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Inhale, arch. And exhale, hips up and back. And jumping or stepping forwards. Inhaling, head up. Exhale, head down. Inhale, come up. And exhale. Inhale, bend the knees, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, head up. Exhale, jump or step back, hold your plank. Lower down. Inhaling, arch. And exhale, hips up. Inhale, the right leg goes up, the knee bends, and you open out to the side. And then bringing the knee into the chest, roll over into one-legged plank, and then place the foot, rise up. And then hands to the floor again, step back, find your plank, lower down. Inhaling, arch. Exhale, hips up. Inhale, left leg goes up, knee bends, opening out to the side. And then coming in, knee into the chest, roll over into one-legged plank, and then step the foot forwards and come up. And then hands down again, step back and lower down. Inhaling, arch, and exhale, hips up. And breathe in here. And jump or step forwards. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, head to the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, bring the arms up. And exhale, straighten. Inhale, bending the knees again. Exhale, fold. Inhale, head up. Exhale, back into a plank and hold. Lower down. Inhaling, arch. Exhale, lift the hips. And the right leg goes up, but this time we keep the hips squared. Push through the heel. And then we're just going to raise and lower that bottom heel. And then we're bringing that knee into the chest, rolling over into a one-legged plank. Hold it a little bit here, and then step the foot and rise up. Turn the back foot, open the arms out to the side. And then bringing the hands to the floor, step that foot back. Place it, lower down. Inhale, arch. Exhale, hips up. Left leg goes up. Keep the hips squared, push through the heel. And then just raising and lowering that bottom heel. Then bringing the knee into the chest, roll over into that one-legged plank, place the foot, and rise up. Turn the back foot, open the arms out to the side. Look to the floor, bring the hands down, step that foot back and lower. Inhaling, arch, and exhale, lift the hips up. And jumper step forwards here. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head down. Inhaling, bending the knees, bring the arms up. And exhale, straighten. Okay, so we're going to do a twist here, so palms together. Inhale, you're going to bring your right elbow to touch the outside of your left knee or left thigh. And then from here, you're going to take that right hand and bring it out to the side and bring your left leg up. And then coming back down, taking the pose on the other side. Left hand out to the side for half moon pose on the left. And coming back down, bring the hands to the floor, just heel toe the feet out a little bit and fold over the legs. And then hands down from one heel toe out a little bit further and let the toes be out to the side. And just playing with the twists here if you want. Coming back into center, sitting back, legs up. And bending the knees now. So we're going to start here and then try to stretch out and circle around. So you kind of control how far back you go. And try to speed it up a little bit. And rest. Bringing the soles of the feet together. Shaking the knees out. And then folding. And coming up. So we're going to point the toes, raise the arms up, ribs in. Imagine you're hit with a ball into the stomach. And then go forwards, hit again. And then you're going to try and roll back and hold. Little tiny rocks if you want to intensify the experience. If it's too much with the arms over the head, then just bring the hands to the thighs. But you want to try and eliminate that arch in the lower back, yeah? And release, bring the soles of the feet to the floor, lift the hips up. And then coming back up. Same setup, but we're going to do tuck rocks now. Some more movement. So setting it up. 2 more. And rest, lie back. And again, lifting the hips up. Okay, now we're going to do our single leg stretches. So bringing one leg up, bringing the second leg up, make sure the core is on. We're going to reach for one leg and bring the head up and drop the other. Little pulses, 2 and 2. Really good for acro, where we want to be strong, we want our limbs to be long. And release, hips up. Okay, now as where might be useful to have a belt or sweatshirt or something, or scarf to wrap around the foot if some of you might need it. You might have the flexibility not to need it. But we're just going to stretch out the legs a bit. And our aim here is to try and bring the leg as close towards us as possible. So first we're just lying with our head on the ground. So you might be able to catch the foot or the big toe. If you're comfortable doing that, then just do that. And then we're going to bring it out to the side. But I want you to really pin the hip on the other side. So don't just let that leg drag you over. You don't want to be falling over. You want to keep your center. Point through the toes of the foot that's on the ground. Maybe point through the toes of the foot that's in the air as well. Look in the other direction. And then back into center. And now we're going to lift our head and try to bring it to the leg, yeah? So we're trying to bring the leg to the head and the head to the leg as much as possible. But you might be pretty far away, but you just be different for everyone, yeah? You might be catching the foot. Those of you who have the flexibility. And gently release, and we'll do the other side. So remember, first your head is on the ground. You're just trying to bring that leg towards you. And are you pointing the toes of the foot that's on the ground, or are you pulling it away from you? And then bringing the leg out to the side, pinning the opposite hip. And coming back up, and this time you're trying to bring your head towards your leg and your leg towards your head as much as possible. And gently releasing, we'll come up. Okay, now if you have a brick or some large book, would be helpful. I'm just going to place it under the sacrum. And then we're bending the right knee into the chest, and the left leg extends, pointing through the toes. So you might feel pretty comfortable here, but then if you push the knee more towards the body, you might feel a deeper stretch. And we'll switch sides. And gently releasing, and you can remove the brick. So we're going to come to the wall now. We've done this one before, I think. Quad stretch. This one's really good, particularly for releasing the quads from a lot of basing. So one leg is bent with the sole of the foot on the floor, and the other leg has the knee on the floor, and the leg is back with the toes untucked, preferably, yeah? And then how far away or close to the wall will depend on the feedback that you're getting from your body, yeah? So you might be all the way up on top of the wall with the heel out to the side, or you might be quite considerably further away, just listening to the feedback. So for example, if your foot is killing you, that's an indication that there's a lot of pressure there already, so you probably should stay where you are. And then there's ways to intensify this even more and bring it into other parts of the body. So you can start thinking about bringing the arms up. I would only really advise this if you're right up close to the wall, because we're trying to bring the arms, like trying to get the elbows towards the wall, yeah? And try to keep lifting the elbows up. And you'll probably start to feel a deeper stretch in your leg from lifting your arms. So try to have the elbows close to the ears and close to the wall. This is, for me anyway, it's a super intense stretch. I just presume it's the same for everyone else. And gently release. And we'll switch legs. And gently release. Okay, so I'm going to get you to do your headstand now. So you all have a headstand practice. So just hop up into your headstand, or rather in a very controlled manner. Float up into your headstand. If headstand is easy for you and you want to make things harder, then you can do like a little lowering the legs down and bringing them up again and stuff like that, yeah? And then this is warming us up for our handstand. Okay, so for the next thing, we're doing our handstand, and we're going to try and take one leg off, and then take the other leg off and change. It's a lot harder than it might look. So looking down in between the hands, and you have one foot on the wall, one foot off, and then as you try to switch them, try to get like a moment of air time in between the switches, yeah? I don't mind whichever way you want to go up, kicking or tuck jumping or whatever you want to work. So once you have it, look down in between the hands and then try to take one leg off. And then bring it back and take the other leg off and switch and try to make that switch a bit quicker. That's it, Sylvia. That's it. Yeah, it's much harder than it looks, right? But the idea of this exercise is it can really help you to find that sensation of a moment of balance, because you really have to to switch the legs, you really have to be concentrating and finding that balance in that core. So once you have it, look down and start small with it's just a tiny movement. You're not trying to bring the leg down, you're just trying to bring it into line with your body. And one thing that really helped me, Sylvia in particular, I'm looking at you, rather than thinking of using your flexibility to help you up, think that it's all about the standing leg and the spring that you're creating from the standing leg, rather than thinking about, oh, I need to hike that top leg higher, yeah? So try to make it all about that spring. That's it. So look down in between the hands, take one leg off, little bit off, yeah, and then switch. Yeah, just keep flutter kicking the legs. That's it. Yeah, so Rasta, once you're up, look down in between your hands. And then switch the legs. You're trying to you bring one leg into line. So don't lower it too much. It's much harder than it looks, but it's really effective. It's just really important not to let that leg that comes off the wall go too low. You just move like really small, even just really small distance. Good. So I say we could rest now, unless you want to have another go of it. Seeing as we've made everything very splitsy already, we've really prepared the legs. We do my favorite standing splits exercise with the wall. That's it here. I know the girls probably love this and Rasta probably hates it, but yeah. So bring your standing heel, Sylvia, bring it close to the wall, yeah? Try to walk yourself in until that heel is really close to the wall, to the skirting board.
Can I see again how the leg that goes up stays?
So even if this heel is not fully on the ground, that's okay.
I don't know if I can do that.
You're much more flexible than me, so I think it won't be a problem. So let the standing heel lift if it needs to, but it's really helpful to get that feedback from the wall. And then that top leg is really active. So Rasta, you can be as far away from the wall as you like. Just as long as you have that sensation, that's all that matters, yeah? Tighten the hips. And then when you've had enough on one side, then you can do the other side. And this is actually a very safe way of working splits because when you do it on the floor, gravity can sometimes kind of drag you deeper than your body wants to go. Whereas this one, you're pulling yourself up with that top leg. And that's kind of keeping it active and keeping it a bit safer. And whenever you've done both sides evenly, you can come down. So we're coming back to our mat, and we're just moving knees from side to side. You'll notice I often finish with this. It just kind of recalibrates the hips, recalibrates the spine. And then you can lie back and just have the knees together. And then walking the feet back in. Again, just letting these go to one side, letting them go to the other side. And then coming back into center, you can lie back for a little bit of rest. So lying back on your mat, making sure you're comfortable. And just take a few minutes to let the body take some well-earned rest.